Joining us now is former ambassador to the United Nations and former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Thank you, Ambassador, for being here. Alexei Navalny's mother was denied access to his body. His staff was literally pushed out of the morgue. Navalny's supporters say they believe that he was poisoned and that authorities are waiting for the nerve agent to dissipate. Do you think they're right?
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense. When the Russians first poisoned him in 2020, he was saved only because the airplane he was on made an emergency landing, so the poisoning didn't have time to take effect. Novichok is a chemical weapon of choice for Putin. That was what they used on the Skripals in England in the spring of 2018. And it has all the marks of another assassination. Look, Navalny was seen on TV in his jail just a day or two before he died. He looked, by all appearances, in good health, good spirits. I think this poisoning, if that's what it is just a sign of how confident Putin is he can get away with it.
Yeah, it was just one day before he was shown laughing, looking healthy and fine. The prison says he died of sudden death syndrome. Any idea what that is?
No, it sounds like maybe you're alive 1 minute and dead the next. That seems to happen to all of us, so I have no idea what that is. Maybe the doctors can say, or maybe the Russians are just making it up.
You wrote in an op-ed in The Hill today that, quote, no one really believes that accidents happen to high-profile prisoners in the Russian gulag. The decision to eliminate such a prominent thorn in the Kremlin side would have had to come from Putin himself. You say this shows that Putin feels like he's back on top, confident, unafraid of any international pushback.
Yeah, look, he's suppressing demonstrations or memorials for Navalny in Russia. I think the Democratic opposition is either in exile or in hiding inside Russia. And internationally, you know, as you indicated, we've heard the professions of outrage by President Biden, other Western leaders. Now we'll see what the response is. I think Putin thinks he can blow right through this, and he may be right.
Yeah, you said the Siloviki, am I pronouncing that right? Siloviki, the Russian word for men of power, are back in line.
Yeah, I think he's eliminated Navalny. He eliminated Prigozhin some months back. Whatever signs of turmoil there were in the military, the intelligence, and other security services, I don't see him at the moment. I think Putin, as I say, feels confident, and I'm sure we've got other things that are going to happen on the battlefield in Ukraine. He's been able to make some small but potentially significant advantages. I think he believes time is on his side at the moment.
You also write that Navalny's tragedy should be a wake-up call, especially for Republicans. We are not providing charity for Ukraine, but acting to protect core American interests. What do you say to the House Speaker, who was so far refusing to allow a vote on aid to Ukraine and says we need to fix our own border before we worry about Putin invading someone else's?
Well, it's a sad commentary to think the United States can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I certainly agree with the Speaker. We need to fix the wretched policy at the Mexican border, but we can do two things simultaneously, and it is in American interest to assist Ukraine in repelling this Russian invasion. It's not charity, as I said in that piece. There are core American interests here. Stability and security in Europe has been an interest for the United States since 1945. We fought 2 wars on the continent in the 20th century to secure that outcome, and it's still true today. If the Russians feel they can commit aggression against Ukraine, the Chinese will feel they can commit aggression against Taiwan without consequences. So this is something, we're not defending Ukraine, we're providing them with weapons so they can defend themselves.
Former President Trump, for whom you worked, issued a statement today, many days after Navalny's death. He said, quote, the sudden death of Alexei Navalny has made me more and more aware of what is happening in our country. It is a slow, steady progression with crooked, radical left politicians, prosecutors, and judges leading us down a path of destruction. Missing from that statement is any reference to Vladimir Putin, who most of the world believes murdered Navalny.
Yeah, I mean, Trump dodged the question when Navalny was poisoned in 2020 if Putin and the Russian government were responsible for it. And here, the notion that he's comparing himself to Navalny, really, I urge people to think about it because it's just so ridiculous. And, Donald Trump has complete due process rights in every one of the criminal indictments against him. He has a functioning legal system, and he's free to make any defenses that he wants, unlike Navalny, who, by the way, is dead.
Ambassador John Bolton, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Really appreciate it.